Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices. And just in a general sense, the European markets are weaker than the US markets. In the US markets, we have the strong markets, which is the Russell, followed by the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones is it's actually quite weak. It's sort of in line with the market that we're looking at here, the FTSE, because the Dow Jones has also got 5 waves moving down here as well. This particular rally that we're looking at here as wave 2 is really starting to confirm very nicely. And what I mean by that is that this little pattern that we're looking at here makes a nice ABC pattern. In fact, there's a couple of ways it could be counted. I was being a little bit hopeful in terms of seeing this as well as an A wave to here, then an A and a B and a C wave to here for the wave B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here in this sort of number here, the 61.8% retracement level area here. But it also can be counted as done and dusted with an A and a B and a C wave sitting here, and this sitting here, and this moving down as wave 1, an A and a B and a C moving back up here, and then folding down from here. So if you do see this move through here, then this become the retested resistance here, then you want to be looking to short at this stage. 62 here is the 61.8%, so 61.8 here in terms of geometry for trading levels. Then this will be quite a significant price point here. We also know too that the 2 here is part of group 1, minor group 1, so 100, 200 and 300 here is all part of group 1, and we normally find that if the number 2 here, the pivot within group 1, becomes the retested resistance, then the market will be pulled down to the closest largest number, in this case 6,000. So the short trade would definitely be in here, and something that you need to be start to look for. Now, within the European markets, there's markets that are stronger than others and some that are weaker, and we can have a look at some of those weaker markets in terms of Italy and Spain. Now, if I go to the stock 50 that we sort of use as a bit of a bread and butter sort of wave count, what we'd been looking for here was that we're looking for from wave, get this in here, basically wave 1 up here, an A wave and a B wave and a C wave down here for wave 2, and this count here would be in line with the US markets as well, to a point at least, in looking for wave 2 here. Now, this particular move up here, it moved past the 61.8% mark here, a little bit higher, that's sort of okay, it drifted off to the closest largest number, and now we're starting to see an impulse wave to the downside here. I do need to be careful a little bit, because it's probably a long shot, but I should sort of mention it, is that this could also be counted as wave 1 and back for wave 2 here, and all of this the third wave here. So it's possible that in all of these markets that we're looking at in the European markets, we're pulled back to a wave 4 here at the 38.2 retracement level. I don't think it's the case, but we just need to be a bit aware of that. So if we see a move that comes in above the 61.8% mark up here as support, then that's what we'd look at for one more move to the upside here. Then we would look at this slightly differently here as an ABC back, and then up from that point. I don't think it's the case, but I just need to point it out. I need to look for all the counts that have got reasonably high probability and share them. So that's there, and that would be across all of those markets. But as it stands, the FTSE and the DAX and that have quite a nice, especially the FTSE has a really nice impulse wave to the downside here. So we can pretty much assume that that's going to be the case here. So when we look at the DAX now, in the same light as well, from here, wave 1, an A wave here, a B wave in 3 waves to here, and then a C wave down to here, the 60, 50, 60% retracement levels at this number down here. But I would imagine that we would just be looking down at 5 waves into, well, anywhere from 10.1 to 9.8 here. Right, so just by the by that we've got here, so we're looking for 5 waves down here now, and we can see that this would be wave 1 and back for wave 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but it's also possible just to get 3 waves down here in terms of an A and a B and a C to the 10,000 and 61.8% mark, and then move up from that point. We'll work with that when we get there. But basically what we're looking for here is 5 waves, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then sort of 5. There'd be a lot of support at the 10,000 and also this area down through here as well. So we're looking for that 5 waves down here. Normally there'll be some sort of equality between wave A and wave C, so we just need to count the waves as we go. So in terms of counting those waves as we go, this is what we're looking at here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here on the 15-minute chart to draw into this little area through here, looking at it like this here in terms of an A wave here, a B wave here, and then up for the C wave here, which would be in 5 waves. So that 5-wave structure would be looking at 10,300 here, and we'd need to look at this as wave 1 and 2 in here, and wave 3 and wave 4 and wave 5 coming in something like this here. So this is also group 1 as well, 100, 200 and 300, so that makes it a minor level, and that's minor group 1. So if we at any stage found a tested support on top of group 1, then we know that we'd have a bullish count in that terms, and that means we'd need to look at this as wave 4 here. Yeah, so that's how that should play out, and we'll drill down into this on the European opening. So in terms of weaker markets, we can look at Italy as such. So the first thing with Italy here, it's got like a different count here. So I've counted this as I see it and not pulled it in line with the European with the US markets, and in this case here we'd be looking at this as an A wave up here, a B wave here, a C wave here, then down for 1 here, back for 2, and then moving lower through here. So I'm just counting it as I see it. Let's see how that pans out. The Spanish market, the Spanish market is a bit better because we don't particularly want to short into large numbers as such. That actually should be down somewhat here as well into, I'm just going to move that up to there. This is 16,500 here, so that's the important level there. But the Spanish market here, let me just find this Spain here. This is kind of a bit better really in terms of actually shorting. Same sort of pattern as the Spanish market, the Italian market. However, in this case here, we're basically looking down for 1 and back for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But the good thing here is that we've got this large level here, which is a medium level, this market is playing out at that level, isn't it? It hasn't rejected it, but it also hasn't found it as support yet. So we've got time with this. We'll just allow this to be a little bit further, and then we'll pick it up from here, and we possibly got a short trade on our hands from here. If this market's going to move up here, then it's going to show a positive thing. It'll be, instead of being an A and a B and a C here, it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 5 here. And if we get 5 here, then we'll get an A and a B and a C as a counter trend, and then back up here and then up. So we wouldn't go long unless this sort of pattern played out here. And in terms of a short pattern here, we would need to see a decent move down and then another retest here before we'd look for a longer term short trade here as well. So we really need this to play out, but it certainly looks corrective. And this particular move up through here as an A and a B and then 5 waves to the C wave here really makes it a corrective wave. So a beautiful A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here. And we're not looking at the DAX like this, but we certainly could as well. And obviously this market's going to drift with the DAX to a point, but it really just holds that more larger bearish picture, which would eventually make new lows down here. So I can't throw this in the bin just yet, and it will just continue to work with it. But in terms of actually analysis is one thing and trading is another. So in terms of trading, we need a setup that's going to be above this number as a tested support, or below this as a tested resistance here. So if the DAX and the stock 50 sort of really struggle from their current structures, well then this would be the market to trade short. Rather than trading short into the DAX, into the 10,000, this one would be easier. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.